Hello, this is Claude, and today I'm going to show you how I had an epiphany and I was able to convert my favorite switches, the glorious Panda switches, into a RGB switch. So this is the topic of the video today, and let's get into it right now. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how I took the glorious Panda just to the regular one, which I lubed. Um, on the inside channels. I'll show you after. But how to take that, and I'm using it into a glorious GMMK2 keyboard. And the keys lose a lot of the transparency, the lighting lose a lot of transparency of the strength of the light. So the M key here, as you can see, I did the switch. So you're able to see the brightness of the letter much better. So basically, this is how the switch comes from the box, and this is how I finish with my finished product. All right, so the light shines through much better with that. And the second benefit from doing this modification is the sound is actually better. So I'm gonna let you hear the sound first. So I will show you of the two different switches, but I'll show you. So this is, as you can see, so this is the switch. And you can see right there the brightness of the switch, the key reflects much better with the top being transparent, all right? And this is the standard key, all right? So now that the proof is done, I'm going to show you the sound of the switches. So you'll see that the switches are sounding very differently. This is the standard version, upgraded version with the transparent top. Every time I get a new keyboard, I always usually remove the switches and I get new switches. So I have tons of switches here. These are Otemus Blue. This is the Pandas that I just showed you, but I got tons of them. I got tons of keyboards as well that came with the MX speed switches. Hate them. Remove them also. All right. So I do have, like, this is some of my ex favorite, my cherry browns RGB. So what I did is I tried to look at what I had, if I could just do and switch the tops, and nothing was working. But when I got my GMMK2 keyboard, which by the way I love, this is a beautiful keyboard. When I purchased it, it came only with the linear Fox switches, red one. I'm not the linear kind of guy, and I already have tons of Tahoe keycaps, so I could have purchased the bare bone keyboard and just put the switches that I like and then the keycaps. But I decided, what the heck, I'm gonna get the linear. Maybe the new Foxes from Glorious are gonna be better. So maybe I'm gonna become a linear kind of guy. Never gonna happen. So I got it with these switches because I want to have a pool of switches. And also, well, you have the keycaps as well. So might as well, might as well get keycaps. I love my PBT double shot keycaps. Never had ABS double shot. So I wanted to try that. And you know what? Actually, they are very good. I really like these ABS double shot keycaps from Glorious. They're very good. So there's no need to replace. So you always need to try before you can say you like or you don't like something. Actually, I like these switches as well. These the keycaps and the switches. Well, I didn't like, so I removed that. So I, like always, I had tons of Glorious. I had actually Holy Pandas from Drop. I put them all in. Didn't like them. I went back to my favorite switches ever, the Glorious Panda. I prefer them over the Holy Pandas. The Holy Pandas, the clicky sound that it makes is a little too thinny for me, or tinny. It's not a loud sound, so I like a thucky switch, and the Glorious Pandas for me are the best. Some people do reviews of switches and they like the Zelios or Telios or whatever they are, or the U4Ts and all of that. I love these switches. So what I did is I got the switches on my keyboard, just so you know. Put the switches. What you hear is they're switches that have been lubed with Tribosys 3203. This is what I did. And I do a lot of typos when I type. I love my keyboards, but I'm not the best typist or typer. So what I do is, since I do a lot of typos, I put no, I change the springs, and I put some 80-gram springs. So what it means is I really need to want to hit the switch to be registered. Also, I'm very harsh when I type on my keyboard. I'm very hard. I type very hard. So having these 80 grams is just perfect for me. Right, 67 grams as they come by default is a little light for me. It's still more than most of the switches. I think they come at 62-gram springs, so I like mine a little, thicker. So that's what you will hear. You will hear lube switches, and what I lubed, just so you know, before we do the changes, or I show you how I did that, is I take the switch here. My lubing work that I do is open the switch. Just open the switch. Don't even remove that. I lube my springs with silicone oil. All right, so that's what I use, and I just lube the inner channels. I just lube the inner channel here on this side, on that side. I do the base of the stem, and then I just go around. I try not to touch the leaf, the metallic leaf. That's what I lube. So what I did is basically I removed all my linear foxes, took them out. I've got a couple of them here on the go here already. So I just take my the switches, the foxes switches, open the fox, and what I'll show you is that they're not a perfect fit. Some others, Cherry MX, all the MX switches that I had from Cherry did not work. Because the leaf, the space for the leaf is thinner. There's not more. There's not enough space, so they didn't work. Right. So just open that. That's what you do. So what I did, like I said, I lubed my switches, remove that. I lubed my switches on the inside. I replaced my spring on this, and this one I didn't. But when you put it back on the top, right, make sure that you go right here, put it back on, and when you put them back, you close them. One thing that you will see is that the front, where the RGB shines through, all right, it doesn't close perfectly. There's a little gap. All right, there's a micro gap here. So that's the thing, is you really need to close it and really push it hard on that side. Careful not to bend the pins here in the back. But you push it hard. All right, and then after that, it just closes nice. All right, once the gap is filled, then you're good to go. You are good to go. All right. So I don't have a spring on this one. I'll show you how quick that is. Well, let's do that again. There's nothing like doing it live. All right, so let's do that. Let's remove this. All right, this is done. Remove that stem here. Put that little spring baby here. Me, I put my 80 gram, but let's do this. Put the spring back. Put the stem, the little legs of the stem towards the leaf, obviously, right? And me, this is how I do it all the time on that side. And then I will take it here. And before you start pushing like crazy, you always make sure that your little legs are in front, and then the side that's gonna shine the RGBs on the right side. All right, and then whoops, I'm gonna close that baby. Oh, this one didn't like it, huh? Is it gonna break? Am I gonna screw up one? I cannot afford a single one. So there you go. There you go. Closed, and it's done. Let's close that gap. There you go. Gap is closed. So now I've done only the M key and then the delete key on my keyboard. So I'm going to do them all, and then I'll get back at the end and with the sound test. But basically, you've got the sound test already here. M key is done. So let's do that. I'm going to click on my switch hitter program, and I've got better shine through. So I'll show you. So, hey, I'll show you the end result at the end, but still, that's it for now. So I really like the way it is, the way it sounds. So I'm gonna do the whole keyboard, and that's what it is. So RGB Glorious Panda, there you go. And you will notice in some of the keys as well that all the keys that have stabilizers, I kept the Holy Pandas. They sound better than the Glorious. I have no idea why, but Yeah, the Holy Panda sound better with all the keys. You can see the stem is a little bit more salmon than it is. You can see here, it's bit more salmon than it is yellow on the Glorious. So that's one also of the changes that I kept my Holy Pandas there. And I'm not gonna change the top because these are not. I want mostly my numpad and my letters to be illuminated properly. All right. So when you put the top on, there's always one side that gets stuck more than the rest, all right? And it's always the top right. If you look at the keyboard, it's going to be the top right leg that is more difficult. So let's see how I do that now. All right, get this to focus. So yeah, so I put the top back, all right? There you go. And now what I do is it's always this side that's difficult, the top right that's more difficult. You see, it protrudes a little bit. So I just go sideways and then click it here until it goes in. All right, so it's not in yet. Now it's in, and that's what I do. I make sure of that, and I go on the other side, and I'll do the same thing here. And then I click, make sure it goes in properly. And then when it's good, and then we're good to go to put it back in. But it's always the top right here that gives me a problem. And also you'll see when I grab the switch, I grab it from the side, not from the little clips, and it's more pulling force when I take it out. But if you pull on the side, you will see the side. There's a little, it's full plastic. It's easier to pull from these sides. If you pull on the little, thing that clicks, this little part here, that little part, there's a little clip here. It's easier to remove it, but when you use that over and over, they tend to break and they just fall off. So I'd rather use a little more force, but use really you go into that thick part here. So this is why a lot of people might say, "Oh, you're doing it wrong." No, because if you go in on the front, yeah, it's easier with the little clips to undo the little clips, but they break. So yeah, so let's connect this keyboard and see if all is good. I'm gonna test my keys right now. All right, so let's test the switch right now. Let me clear that and let's do it. It's good, 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 good. F8, 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 F8 doesn't work. All right, let's go see what's wrong with F8. Did we bend the pin? And that's a problem. We have a winner. We have a bend pin. That happens. One in the back. You see, it's completely bent. So let's do this. All right, let's repair that bent pin. All right, so let's take the pliers and gently lift it up. But you see, we've got many bent pins, and there's no, F word, if this, if that, and panicking and crying. And, it's just a little detour that makes it the journey more pleasant. So we're just going to fix it. The pliers, get in there. There you go. Fairly straight. Close enough is good enough as long as the contact is done. All right, so I'm going to try to straighten it up. It's hard to see, but it's fairly straight. All right. F8 for the win. Let's do that first. All right. Let's connect it. All right. F8. You see, there's no panicking. No. Oh, shit. H. H it then. All right. H is then. This is why there's no point of panicking. It completely bent. All right, let's revive it. You know what? Close enough. You know what? Good enough. Let me just maybe get another. All right. H. I'm not gonna do it yet. I'm gonna change the screen. Go in the program. H. All right, everything works. Everything has been tested. I had like 4 or 5 bent pins. So now everything is good. So I'm just going to go back to my software here. So I'm going to click on things. But yeah, let's put the keys back. And this is glorious. This is holy. You see the difference? Glorious, holy. Glorious, holy. Yeah, glorious is better. But you see, with the thing, we didn't lose sound. We enhanced the sound. That's what I like. That's really good. All right, let's keep doing. All right, so the modification has been done. All the keys have been done. And then you can see that the M or the N or the letters, they're all the same color. The white ones as well were not shining through as much. So now you can see I've got a lot of lighting on, obviously, on my desk for recording, and you can clearly see the fonts very well. You can see also here the light shining through very well. Also on the space bar, which was very dim actually. So yeah, it's pretty good, the difference. And the sound of the keys have not really changed. Actually, has not really changed. As it didn't get worse, it got better. So this is basically the conclusion is that the sound is getting better. So yeah, so basically I've got better lighting, I've got better sound. Overall is very good. I did the change as well. I have a mostly 95% or on Glorious Pandas, and I've got a couple of like for the keys here, I left some Holy Pandas, and for the keys that I have like stabilizer, the Pandas, the drop Pandas actually, the drop Pandas were a little better. So I left them all the keys that are uh, on the stabilizer. They're all drop Pandas. So I was actually also able to put the clear dome on it using a little bit of pressure from this to clip them properly. But it worked very well. So it's mission accomplished. It's been done. So you can literally have your Pandas, either Glorious or Oli Pandas from drop. You can put a RGB clear dome on top of them. And what I've done, like I said, I've used the Glorious Fox switches, not sold alone, but I bought the keyboard with it. So the proof is in the pudding. It can be done, or eventually it will be able to be done. So I guess I'm the first one that has now the RGB Pandas. If anyone has done it before, let me know and leave some proof and records so we can see who's got it. Today is August the 20th, 2022, and I have done it. All right, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.